Is judging ourselves. We have voices in our heads that need to die because they keep on telling us that we are not enough, that this is not good for us, this is not what we deserve. You look at your past and start asking yourself, do I really, am I really in a position to achieve this? Or do I really deserve this from where I've come from? I've been in a series of failures on and off, on and off, on and off. And you realize that when you start judging yourself that way, you can't move. You cannot grow. So today I'm daring you to become and to rise up above yourself, to become, to begin the journey of becoming, the journey of being a better self. So today is a day of you just become, you start becoming, you start being somebody. You're not you're not where you are supposed to be until you start seeing that you're making a difference in your life journey. I mean step by step. So today I'm here to just dare you. That game of daring. I dare you to do this. So today I'm daring you to get out of your comfort zone, to get out of your fears, and to get out of those excuses. Welcome back, Grace. We lost you at some point, but I have taken charge. Thanks to Richie. So, yeah, welcome back. We move on together. Um, so, how does the journey look like ahead for you? I want you to put on the chat box, first of all, before we even go any further. What would you like, what would your life look like if you lived without limits? What would your life look like if you lived without limits? Would it be glamorous? What is it that you would own that you wish you would own? Who would you be if you did not have limits? Because many times we say, like I remember just recently I was telling myself, the money that has passed through my hands, if I had not gone through this and this and this, probably right now I would be living in my dream house, driving my dream car. But are those excuses that I'm telling myself? Are those just limits that I've been putting on myself? So how would your life look like if you were not limited by anything right now? How much money would you be having in your bank account? What would you be doing right now with your life? So I want you, even if you're not putting on the chat box, you can just write it for yourself. How would life look like for you? How would life look like for you if you had no limits? So today we are journeying ahead now past those limits so that we can strive and see if we can take a step a day. Each day we are taking a step towards becoming that person. Because when you look at comfort is just something that is telling us you're just sitting in a place where you're not supposed to be. So we want to beat the illusion of comfort. We want to beat the paralysis of fear. So comfort is just an illusion. Fear is just something that paralyzes you. It makes you not able to to grow yourself, to move forward. And then when you talk about making excuses, those excuses that you have, these are just habits that we need to beat. So we want to beat these things. We want to move beyond. So I want us to narrow down to each one of these things that we are talking about, all these excuses that we are holding on to. I want us to look at them. So we look at comfort first. And I said it's an illusion. It's an illusion of safety. You want to stay safe. You feel safer when you're comfortable. But instead of being comfortable, every step, everything that you're trying to achieve is on the other side of that comfort. So you must, if you're comfortable, then you're not achieving what you're supposed to be achieving. So now I had to start looking at my life and realize that all along I've been trying to be comfortable. And that's why a lot of money has passed through my hands, and now I'm not living the life that I wish I would live. I'm that person who would buy whatever I cross, those impulse buying, that kind of shopping that you find yourself in a supermarket and you had just gone to buy something that would cost you 1,000 shillings and you end up spending 5,000 shillings. I know so many of us, especially women, and I'm speaking for single women most likely, we tend to buy things that we do not need. So look around you. What is it that you have that you don't use? Why did you have it there? Why do you have it there? It's just because it was an illusion of comfort. You felt that if I buy this, I would feel better. So now, because we want to kill this illusion, we have to look at it like it's a dream killer. It silently kills your dreams, because money that would have probably, if this money would have stayed somewhere, probably in your account for an extra month or just an extra day, you would find a different use for it, probably invest deeper in your business. So that way, you have killed a dream that maybe you would have used this money to build yourself up. So, comfort zone feels like you're being safe, but it breeds stagnation and it breeds mediocrity. So there's a lot of mediocrity happening around us. We are buying things that we do not need. It makes us also feel familiar. We don't want to be challenged. Human beings want to feel safe. Human beings don't want to push themselves to the next level. So everything that feels familiar, we want to hold on to this. And that's why we have families, places that we go home to. That is a place where we feel, it's familiar. That's where we can be ourselves. So we want to feel ourselves all the time. We don't want to be challenged. Anything that challenges us is a no-no. Um, Comfort also, it makes us not to move across the edge. So we just always, when we are approaching to the edge, we do not want to move. So we have to understand that any growth that will be happening has to happen beyond that edge. So stay closer to the edge. When you're staying closer to the edge, you realize that it becomes very easy for you to jump. So comfort is just an illusion of safety. It's not a reality of anything. Now, when we look at fear, fear is just a liar that holds you hostage. So fear is a liar that holds hostage. Well, those who are Christians, we know that we always say that the devil is a liar. Why? Because he creates fear. So fear is just a liar that holds you hostage. You are afraid of what might happen. And you realize that when you're afraid of something, you are just afraid of the future. So you're living in the future instead of living in the now. So we have to kill the future first. It's good to envision, yes. It's good to have, those big dreams. It's good to envision. It's good to have these vision boards and such kind of things. But if the future gives fear, then this is a place to run away from, because we are afraid of maybe failure. We have told ourselves that we might fail. We have told ourselves that we might be judged. We have told ourselves that we may not be successful. What if I begin this and it doesn't work? I remember, Grace, when we began, you said that you started this platform during COVID. Imagine if you had told yourself, how many people are going to join? Do I really have the right? Am I capable to continue doing this and stay faithful to it? You wouldn't have done anything. So you would have started rejecting yourself even before you begin. So fear is something that it's holds you hostage to stay, never to jump to the future. So to stay at that place where you're just feeling comfortable. So fear is just something that is holding you hostage. It's a criminal. When you look at excuses, excuses are those things that delay us. So we keep on holding on, and we don't know that if we put this excuse aside, if you were to do away with your excuses, and I like giving an example of myself. I have a story that is very painful, is though not painful right now, but it's something that I overcame. But over time, for me to be able to, to grow out of it, I had to start telling myself that anything that holds me back because of what I have been through is just an excuse. I am no longer there. So I have to get up. I have to do this. I have to jump. And when I shared my story, I realized that so many people have been through similar situations or even worse, and they have managed to come out. I started watching other stories, people who have shared their own stories, and I realized that it's nothing new. Whatever I have gone through is it's not even new. It's not even unique. So many people have gone through similar things or even worse things. So I had to break these excuses. So excuse is just a language of delay. So when you do away with your excuses, you realize that now I can move. I can, and it's good to look at examples of others and where other people have been, because it helps you to realize that, I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this. We say that we are not supposed to compare, but this is not a place of comparison, but a place of learning. You use other people's stories, other people's journeys to be able to learn. So when you look at excuses, these are permission slips that we write to ourselves to stay the same. So we are giving ourselves permission to stay the same. We are telling ourselves that we are not enough. We are telling ourselves that there is not enough time. We tell ourselves that we are too old or we are too young. We are not ready yet, and you will never be ready. But the hidden truth behind any excuse is that excuses almost always disguise either fear or laziness. So you're just trying to be lazy or you're just trying to be afraid. So what stories have you been telling yourself to justify your inaction? What excuses have you been telling yourself to justify your inaction? Because until you act, that's when we can say that you have started killing those excuses. So now, shifting to the growth mode or growth stage, where we have killed comfort zone, where we have killed fear, and where we have killed excuses, we have to start seeking discomfort. We have to look at our dreams and realize that these dreams cannot bring themselves to fruition if we do not act on them, if we do not push ourselves to the next stage. So we have to start seeking discomfort. So anything that makes you, if you're comfortable, if you're not comfortable, or if you're uncomfortable, what am I trying to say? If you're uncomfortable, it means you're growing. If you're comfortable, it means that you're not growing. And growing never ends. Maya Angelou said that the best things that she has ever learned is to realize that she has a lot to learn. And she was saying that, an old woman, that she still has a lot to learn. What is it that you're holding yourself? What are you holding away from yourself not to be able to learn? When you're able to learn, then there's you know that you can be uncomfortable. So discomfort is always an evidence of growth. I had to push myself. There's a time that now when I began Angelique, I remember COVID happened and I had just started and I'm learning in the business. I don't even know much of what I needed to do. And COVID has happened. I have written my dreams for the year for 2020. I wrote down the things that I want to achieve by end of the year. And one of the things I used to do is going to schools to speak, going to churches to speak, those organized groups, going to the prisons to just help. I wanted to just be of use because I was coming from a place of rock bottom, and I don't even call it rock bottom. It was rocky, it was muddy, it was dusty, and everything in it, and it was messy. So I was coming from that place, and now I want to serve, and I want to serve with information that is not even very clear. I was still trying to find my clarity. I knew I wanted to be, to motivate others. I wanted to help others to heal from the places that they have that life has put them, and they feel that there's no hope. And now I've written all these dreams that I want to have, the things that I want to buy. I wanted to buy a car. I want to have some money in my account. I want to buy land. I had lost everything, every single thing I owned, to the place where now, the time I started waking up, I only had a suitcase of clothes and I had two children, one of them being an infant, and I was being housed. And here I am, I've registered Angelique, and I'm calling myself a motivational speaker. Who can motivate you? Would you be motivated by somebody like that? I even remember I went to a friend of mine and she told I was trying to get some work from him to motivate his staff, and he told me, Angela, your life is not even motivational. How can I give you my people to talk to? What are you going to tell them? And I told them, it's not about what I own. It is about what is within me. That's all I want to share. And he said, no, when you grow, you come back. Up to now, I've never gone back. I'm waiting for him to call me because I know he will call me for that business. So I'm not stepping back. I'm still going to hold on to, what I believe I have. So I had to push myself. COVID has happened. And here I am. I'm even borrowing bus fare to go to wherever I'm called to go. And now here we are. Everything is locked down. But I continued pushing. I bought a small plastic chair and I had a phone, a small plastic table. I had a phone and a plastic chair, and I put them on a corner in my house. It was very crowded because it was small. So I would sit at the corner, and I can't even stand up when I'm coaching. I wouldn't, there's no space for movement. I'm stuck just next to the table and next to the wall. That's all space that I could manage. And somehow I just pushed myself and I started going online, and somebody saw my work. I would even get students all the way in the US, in UK, and one of the students who really challenged me and made me realize that I'm on the right path was a life coach. And he told me, I want to come to your class to understand what you're doing, because you have shared very good testimony. I just want to understand. And he paid, and we went through the training, and he borrowed some nuggets here and there that he could also use in his class. And that for me told me that I have to keep pushing myself beyond the comfort zone. So now I had to ask myself, what do you have in your hands, Angela? Like the way God asked Moses, what do you have in your hands? And he said, I only have a stick. I cannot even speak properly. I stutter. So how do you expect me to go and help these people? What information can I give anyone to move forward or to even believe in me? And he said, you use what is in your hands. So he used the stick, and somehow miracles happened through the stick. So I would ask myself, what do I have in my hands? And Literally, I went down on my notebook and started writing what I have. I have this pen. I have my notebook. I have a phone. I have, these small, small things that I had my voice. I am building my confidence. I have a brain that is capable of growing, of learning new things. And just that way, I embraced that and I knew that this is enough and that this is what I'm going to use because I have what I need. So many times you have what you need. You don't need to have extra to do anything that you're planning to do. We have what we need. So ask yourself, what do I have? And why am I giving myself excuses that are holding me hostage instead of using what I have, which is what I need? Many times, what we want extras. So the extras are what we want. They are wants. They are not needs. So you already have what you need. You have the body that you can use the body that you have, which is what you need, to create the body you want. You have the mind that you have, which is what you need to create the mind that you want to have. You can build your faith from where you are, from your journey to where you need to go. So everything that we are looking for, we already have. We just need to get out of our comfort zones and push ourselves a little bit extra. So you need to first seek discomfort. Number 2 is we need to practice courage. So courage, it's not confidence. It's different. Courage creates action, and action creates confidence. So there's a difference between courage and confidence. You don't need to be confident to be courageous. You don't need to be confident to act on anything. You just need the courage to push forward, to go further, to grow, to do something, to act. So that courage or that action can only be created by what we think. So your thoughts create emotions, and your emotions create action. So what we feel is what is going to push us to act. So when we think positively, we are going to push ourselves to act positively. When we think negatively, we are going to stop ourselves from acting. So whichever way, there's action. So whether you're acting or you're inacting, you're inactive, you are still acting. So whether you've decided or you have not decided, there is still decision. So you've decided to stay back. You have decided not to act. You have decided to lay back. You have decided not to, to do what you need to do. Or you can decide to act. You can decide to move. You can decide to get out of your comfort zone. So whichever the case, courage stands strong. So you need, first of all, to master what you're thinking. What you're thinking is going to determine how you're going to act. So you hold on to courage. You get that courage that you can be a shy person. That means that you're not confident, but you can still act on something. So yeah, practicing courage. Number 3 is that you need to empower your language, or use empowering language. Instead of saying I cannot, you can say how can I? Am I visible? I'm seeing people frozen. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
I hear you loud and clear. You are dropping gems. We are concentrated on taking notes. We can hear you.
Thank you, Richie. Yeah, so using empowering language. So instead of saying I cannot, you should say how can I? So that creates room for you to learn. That creates room for you to make a choice and to take responsibility of what you need to do. So instead of, there should never be a language that says I cannot, unless, of course, it's something negative. But when you talk about positivity, your language has to be very positive. Your language has to be very affirming. So in this stage, we can just take this affirmation and say, I refuse to live under excuses when I have the power to change. I refuse to live under excuses when I have the power to change. So you realize now in this affirmation, you have the power. The power lies within you because you are created with that power. You are created with that purpose. Everything that has been created, that has been made, has purpose. This pen, the purpose of this pen is to write. What is your purpose? God created you the same way this person, the person who created this pen, created it for writing. You are created for a purpose. Have you discovered what your purpose is? And have you been able to embrace that purpose? Are you living purposefully? So living purposefully in purpose. Now, I want us to look at some strategies that we can use to realign and to rise up. Strategies that you can use to realign yourself, realign your values, realign your actions with who you are, and to be able to act, to be able to move forward. Number one is that you need to clarify your why. What is your reason for you to act? What is the reason for those dreams? Why do you have those dreams? I have a friend who used to tell me that dreaming is free of charge, Angela. Dream. Just dream. And because I would feel like, hey, I don't, will I really manage to will I have this? It's not possible and all that. But I was challenged to start dreaming big. But then I had to ask myself, why do I have to have this dream? What is the use of this dream? So you need to have that big why. And when we talk about the big why, we are talking about purpose. A strong purpose gives you strength to endure and pushes you past fear and past comfort. When you are living your purpose, you are open to growth and you are open to service, that is serving others. And that is where every human being thrives. And every person has that desire to do better. Even when you look at those people or even let's look at a scenario like a bank robber. Why do they rob? To get a lot of money. For what? Is it for just themselves? You realize this person has a family somewhere that they want to elevate. They want to, to take care of their families. Look at like sex workers. In 2023, I was working with sex workers in Malindi. And the stories they would share, there's none of them that just wanted to have, or maybe very few of them would want. They all wanted to be of service to their families, mostly their families. Some of them was even small children, like in the age of 16, 15, 14, who are out there selling themselves so that they take care of their mothers and take care of their siblings. So they want to serve. They want to be of use. We all want to be of use. What if this use that we have is now the purpose that we were created for? Those who know me very closely, my family and my friends, they know that I'm a giver. I'm this person my hand is always like this. So, like I told you, I found myself in my rock bottom with a suitcase of clothes and children to take care of. One was an infant. And all this happened because of giving. Yes, I was giving wrongly. I was giving my spouse or the person I thought was a spouse then. And even other people around us that I felt they needed our help. But I came to realize that I was giving wrongly. I was giving to the wrong people. I was giving in the wrong way. And it used to fulfill me just knowing that I have given, I have served, nimesaidia, I've helped somebody. I've helped these people not to live in the streets or to be chased away, or, such kind of things. And it ended up taking everything from me. So I was serving wrongly because I wanted to serve. But when I realized that service is only best when you're doing it from purpose. What is your purpose? Then I started striving to get to know what my purpose was. And my purpose is to help others heal and transform so that maybe together we can build this world, make it a better place, and live a bit comfortably, or live a bit, have a world that is better because I am in it. So what are you doing for yourself and for others? What is your biggest why? The other strategy for you to align and to rise to the next level is you need to have bold goals, but make them small. So you have that big goal, a big goal that makes you not to sleep, that big goal that scares you. So if that big goal doesn't scare you, doesn't give you sometimes it gives you sleepless nights, then you need to go back to the drawing board and dream. But you need to break them down into small ones. Now, my big dream, I have to narrow it down to smaller goals, and these goals are even in daily steps. So I have somehow come up with a rhythm. So you create daily rhythm that you know that when I wake up in the morning, because my goal is that one, and this goal, I have to narrow it down into where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want to be in 3 years? Where do I want to be in 1 month? So what do I want to achieve today towards my goal? So every day now you're building a rhythm for yourself. So that way, slowly, you start becoming accustomed to that rhythm. And that way it becomes your habits, it becomes and everything. So every morning you wake up, you know that I am working towards the bigger goal. But the trick is set them small. So the big one, let it be big, yes, but narrow it down to small goals. And number three is that you need to build a very good growth circle. A very good growth circle. Surround yourself with people who stretch you. Those people who stretch themselves and stretch you also, not people who shrink you. Find mentors and accountability partners. There's a difference between the two. You can have a mentor and you can also have an accountability partner. A mentor is somebody who is walking the journey with you, like a life coach, like somebody who is going to walk the journey of where you want to grow. If you're trying to grow your your spiritual life, then you get somebody who can build you that way, who can mentor you into that. If you're trying to do something, you get accountability partners. When I started growing into my coaching business, I had very few friends, or probably I didn't know even who I can trust, because people really ran away from me, because I was at a place where I'm borrowing even 50 bob to buy skuma wiki, to cook stew, something for my mboga for my children. So I was at a very bad place, and nobody likes problems. I don't blame anyone for having run away. And sometimes they don't even run away. They don't leave us. We are the ones who hold ourselves captive because we are afraid of hanging out with these people and telling them our stories. When they are sharing their stories, we are afraid of going to share our sorry stories. So I was at that place and I didn't know who to trust. So when I began, I would just post something online and I say, on this day, I'm going to do this and this, or maybe a flyer. And I come up with a flyer and just post, and I say, I'm going to be doing this on this date. So I know now I have engaged people. So now those people, my responsibility was to make sure that I have done it, because I have told people I will be online this date or this time. So because I knew my friends didn't even believe in me. The world that I had come from was very different. Was not inspirational. It was a world where I was actually a club girl. For me, I never used to take things so seriously. I was, yes, church and club, and I know many people can relate. Church, club, and now last month you were in that club twerking or dancing, and and this month you're calling yourself a motivational speaker just because you've learned two nuggets that you can tell people. So so I was afraid. So I made, now my accountability partners became the social media. So I would post and make sure that I show up. And people started giving me following and likes. And I was happy. I knew that now, oh, there are people who need this. And I would say something and somebody would comment, like, if you had not said this, imagine I was going to commit suicide, and because you said this, so this started now giving me the energy, the power. It is inspired me to continue going, because I knew now there is need. So you don't need to hold on to yourself. If you feel that I do not have any friend that I trust, you don't worry. There are people who will hear your voice or see what you're doing, and they will be inspired, and they will also rise up. There's a young man in, I don't know, I know maybe most likely he may not be in this platform. He's into construction, and he does very good designs of houses. And I know maybe if you look at him, if you look him out, you will see him. He's called Prezo something, construction something, Prezo Moldings. He does very good designs, and he's built himself a house in Ukambani. He's calling it Ukambani Runda, or Runda in Ukambani. And this boy was just a fundi. A fundi, those ones who just put bricks, that, and then he started designing with this cement, the concrete. He would just mix cement and mold something nice, and he realized, oh, people like this one. So the first person he did it for, he liked it, and said, okay, can you do it here? Can you do it here? I think he even did the house of the vice president, some decorations there. He does very good designs. And he started showing his work on social media. Right now, he's doing a lot of work. He's really grown. So what are you holding on to? That small gift, that small skill you feel is small. You just need to show us that small skill. So we can be your accountability partners. We don't even need to know you. I have never met this guy, but I've seen his work. So we don't need to know you in person. Sometimes even those people that we know very closely, our friends, our sisters, brothers, and our families, cousins, they might be the last people to believe in us. These are the days now I hear my friends say, can you talk to my son? Can you talk to my daughter? I'm going through this and that. Can you help me? These are the days I'm hearing that years later. But I've done a lot of work with people out there in the US and wherever. I even helped, because of something I said on social media. Somebody wrote a book, and he came to Kenya from the US to come and give me a copy, just because he heard me say something and he felt inspired. So what are you doing with that small skill that you think is small? So it is your turn right now. It's your turn to break free. Today, on the 5th of August, 2025, those things that you have been holding on to, I want you to identify some areas where you are, where you've settled with, for less, because you feel that you don't have the capability. But you have the potential. It's only that you do not encourage yourself. You do not give yourself courage to move forward. So today is the day that we are going to become uncomfortable and push past that thing, that area of your life. So identify one area of your life that you have been sitting on, that you don't want it to come out there, or you don't know how to bring it out there, and then tell yourself that you have the potential to get out. So what number 2 is, what has fear paralyzed in you? What has fear paralyzed in you? There's something paralyzed. There might be something that you still have not given it maybe a name. You have not given it the power to grow. You cannot take action because you're afraid. What will people say if I do this? How will I sound when I speak up? All these things. What are you afraid of? If it is the fear of public speaking, Coach Richie is here. I know he does a great job. In fact, he calls himself the audacious. I've never seen someone as courageous as you, Coach Richie. So, and I've learned so much from you. So what is that skill that you desire so much to learn, that you feel that even if I learn it, what will it help me with? What are those excuses that you're telling yourself? So we need to break free. Today is your day to break free from comfort zone, your day to break free from your fear, and your day to break free from that that excuse. Now, I want us to give ourselves a challenge for tonight, from now until tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday. So Thursday night, for those who are in Kenya, up to Thursday night. Those who are not, count your hours. 48 hours. Give yourselves a 48-hour challenge and take action on maybe identifying one area where you need to take immediate action. Just one area. So within 48 hours, take action on that thing that you have been holding on to. Write it down and set a 48-hour deadline. And then make sure between now and 48 hours, you have acted on it. And then share your decision with somebody for accountability. If it is, maybe Atara can take this as homework for you guys. I know maybe she has your emails, and Coach Rich, whoever wants to reach out can reach out. So reach out to somebody, reach out to a good friend, and make sure that you have told them between now and the end of 48 hours, I want to do 1, 2, 3. And this thing is going to help you to get unstuck. So the cost of staying stuck is greater than the discomfort of growth. The cost of staying stuck, you can imagine the things you're losing because you're stuck, because you are comfortable. They are greater. That cost is bigger than the discomfort of growth. So why do we have to choose comfort? Why do we have to choose to stay in the same spot that we have been? So today, take that challenge. In 48 hours, everything you have always wanted to do is just sitting on the other side of the fear, or the other side of the discomfort, or the other side of your discomfort. There's somebody called George Adair. He said that everything you have ever wanted is sitting on the other side of fear. Everything you've ever wanted. So what is it that you're putting a stop in your life that you should have acted upon, that is not worked on because you're not courageous enough, because you've not taken ownership, because you've not taken action. So ask yourself those questions. Be authentic to yourself. Be, the inner journey is the hardest journey you can ever walk, you can ever do. The inner journey of facing yourself and telling yourself, Angela, here you are a mess. Angela, telling yourself the bitter truth, the critical, being your own critique, is the hardest journey you can ever walk. But it is the best journey that you will ever walk, because that is the only way you can make the inner man okay. And when the inner man is fine, the world becomes a better place for you to live in. Thank you very much for having me. I hope Madam Grace is still here with us. Thank you very much for having me. It's been an awesome evening. I give you back the stage. Thank you for the chance to pour out to your tribe. And I'm looking forward to many more. If we have any questions, kindly let's put them on the chat box. I can see we have so many coaches here. I'm sure we can all answer. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for pouring into us and just for challenging us and just encouraging us. That was very, very timely. And yes, you have done an amazing, amazing job. My internet has been misbehaving, but I have been here following slowly. Oh yeah, okay, so I do not see any questions.